Oh, welcome back to the shop, guys. We are working on Nick's 1974 Camaro again today. We got a few things to wrap up on it. Basically, I've got to do I got to figure out the noise in the rear end that I hear on D-cell and in roundabouts. I'm going to pull side bearings and pinion bearings out of it and replace them, just update it, so that way those things are done. And then I got to do water pump. I'm working on the door handles currently, which the door handles are a unique issue. You can actually see that the factory handle opens all the way up to the body, and the OPG unit only opens up to there, so there's not enough throw to unlatch the door. So I already fixed this one. I had to modify it so that it gives the proper amount of pull. And to do that, basically I disassemble the handle, and I'm going to open up this window right here because there is a shoulder right there that hits this. You can grind the shoulder back, but I don't want to see it where I grind it, so I'm going to grind off back in here so that when I reassemble the handle, the throw goes all the way forward. So I already knocked this pin loose. Need a pair of pliers to finish taking that apart. I'll grind it out, we'll put it back together, then we'll move on to the next thing. Alright, so I think I have the door handles resolved. I took them apart, ground them down, trimmed them up. Right now I'm trimming about a half coil out of my coil springs, and that should get me my hair got freaky. That should get my ride height where I want it in the front. I've already got this one cut down and put back in. I'm not gonna lie, these kind of stink to put coils in. They're kind of difficult to get them in the upper pocket correctly. But the compression tool that I have helps. It doesn't make it easy, but it helps. So I'm going to fight this, get it back together, and I'm going to pop the rear cover off of the rear differential. I'm just going to save the fluid out of the diff and reuse it because it's brand new. I just put it in there. I thought my axle bearings were going to take care of the noise that was in the rear end, and it did not take care of that noise. So I'm going to go ahead and put pinion bearings, axle bearings in it, or carrier bearings and pinion bearings into it, which should just be disassembly, reassembly. And then we'll check it for the noise coming out of the back end. We'll test drive it. I don't think it's a spider gears because I hear it in a straight line, but I also hear it on turns. So it's definitely a strange noise. It's not the U-joints because I already replaced those. So got the radio playing in the background, so I'll get in trouble with copyright. Doesn't really make sense to me that you have to, that they get mad about the radio playing in the background. That will never make sense to me. Like, the radios are on in everybody's garage, man. Come on now. There's like 3 fingers in the front, 3 fingers in the back of the pocket for the spring, and the spring has to be positioned right. If you get it off, you'll get the ping, like the spring contacting the frame when you go over bumps, so it's not great. Finesse to get it in the right spot. I'm not there, so I'm going to put it together, and I'm going to compress the spring so that I can position it where I need it to be, and then I'll use the car to hold the coil spring while I compress it, because I can't compress it out of the car. Almost. There we go. Got enough thread. I'm going to actually get this coil down. We're going to move this car forward in the bay. Move the Chevette sitting over there. Chevette! Move that guy outside. We got another car to get worked on. I need to get out of the way with this thing. After I'm done with the front coils, that'll hopefully allow us to solve our clicking noise out of the back end. But I don't know if it's going to fix that or not. We'll have to see. There's no possible way that I got that into its correct pocket just by sliding it up there. I am not that lucky. Definitely did not. This is gonna be a minute. Well, it worked, but it took 2 tries. You can see up here in the hole, I think, that there's a ring that the upper part of the spring has to be seated on. And if you don't get that seated right, it makes all sorts of noise and you have ride height problems and it drives funny. It's just bad because you didn't put it together right. So, it's together right. I put my shocks back in and I put the wheels on. We're going to move this up into this bay up here so that I can do the rear bearings. And then I'll probably do the water pump. So, because that will be the end of it for probably today. And tomorrow I'm putting on a high torque starter because he's having heat soak issues after he drives it. And then I'm going to do a custom exhaust on it. Well, semi-custom. It's a Jegs kit out under the car. It's set up for headers, so if we go to headers in this thing down the line, it will already be set up. So I'm just going to make some front pipes that facilitate the prefabbed kit that I'm going to install on this thing. Should be pretty quick to install. I've installed some of these kits before, and they seem to work pretty well. So we'll get on to that next. I think I'm going to find something wrong inside this side bearing. That fluid is not old enough to look that bad. Oh, I should have left this in neutral. Dang it. Silly. Side bearing or pinion bearing. They don't actually look horrible. It's gonna be awkward. Where's all the metal coming from? Keep digging. Pinion seal's a little ugly, but I don't feel anything wrong with the bearings.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things, like frames. Ones that aren't usually on
I don't see anything wrong with the bearings. What is this clicking noise coming from this rear end? I wouldn't think spider gears would make clicking noises in a straight line. Maybe this is a first. So I got this thing all back together. I'm sitting here looking at it, and I think this has the wrong spider gears in it. If you look, that's a lot of play, I think. And I'm wondering if that's a gear set from the smaller set. Either that or the spiders are that worn out. Somebody's been doing a bunch of one-wheel peel burnouts. Not likely, but in order to set a full set of spider gears with a center shaft, I figured we'll try that. I suppose that could be clicking back and forth when you're decelerating. It could definitely be causing a noise on turns. So we'll put spiders in it and see if that solves our problem. At that point, everything in the rear end will have been replaced and we'll be good to go. So you won't have to worry about anything in his hindsight for quite some time, which is a good thing. You know, we're getting old, we got to worry about things in our hindsights. So I'm gonna resurface these drums because they look horrible. So we'll cut those, make them look nice. Probably set smoother, and we'll put this thing back together. Sometimes I get a little time down here to play by myself. I'm down here working on the '74 Camaro, which I ordered new spider gears for. As you saw earlier, they were pretty messed up. But I'm looking, we pulled the water pump off because we were having an overheat issue, and actually, it's probably not going to be able to see this. The picture is mediocre. But I don't have any major scale. The insides of the engine block look pretty good. They're not scaly and rusty, which I've found that actually on several AMC engines and a couple Pontiacs that sat and ended up getting acidic. The inside of the coolant passages ended up exfoliating, and all that crud ended up in the bottom of the block like a half a block fill, and created overheating problems. So we don't have that problem on this car, so that's good. We're going to put a new water pump on it, bring this thing full circle, so to speak, as far as the cooling system is concerned, and then I'll move on to getting the exhaust system put on it. I'm going to go ahead and whip this water pump back on here, get our cooling system filled back up, and we'll go up in the air, get our starter installed. This is one of those early 70s engines that only has an offset starter bolt pattern, so sometimes you have to pull your starter off and verify that you have both of the holes, both of the straight holes for your starter mount. A lot of the Chevy engines come with all 3 bolt holes. This engine does not have that, so we had picked up a starter and pulled off the old starter, assuming that it was going to have, you know, all 3 bolt hole bosses drilled, and nope, that's not our luck. So we went and got another starter, we stick that on there, and we'll keep moving forward, get this thing wrapped up, and we get to test drive this thing, give it back to the customer, and he's going to have a bunch of fun with this thing. Alright, got our 2-position high torque starter. That should work a lot better for our situation. This one's actually not that old, but it heat soaks and leaves you stranded for 20 minutes at a time, so we're going to upgrade to that guy. Let me clean off my gasket surface here with a carbide, and we'll keep moving forward. Looks like that's our power wire. Oh, this is a double wire. We got to rewire it. Let me figure out how I got to do that. Well, I got the old spider gears switched out. These have a lot of wear on them because these are supposed to be square, or well, rectangular. I'm not sure it's going to solve my noise because it's still got a bunch of... That was loud. Still got quite a bit of play in there, but I'm sure the gear oil will take up some of that, but it still seems excessive to me. But we're going to go ahead and glue it back on. I've already got Loctite on my nut and it's locked down. My caps are bolted down. We've got new bearings, new pinion seal, new spider gear set. I pulled the exhaust kit. This is a 409 stainless steel Jegs X-pipe off the headers. And then it's going to be a transverse mounted muffler across here, and then tailpipes. Alright, so this uses these old style seals. I made a new downpipe for this guy, which is going to come right off the manifold right here. Line this up going straight back under our rail. We should kick in to our X. Hug the drive shaft on each side, up and over the axle into our transverse muffler. And then our tails out each side behind the wheel. That's all our parts. That's our muffler. There's our X-pipe. Those are our extensions. And these are what gets us our width to the sides of the downpipes. So let's get our downpipes done. This one's looking pretty good. Get my 3-volt flanges off the old pipes. I have to probably take a little bit of a downturn, but it's pretty close to where I want it to be. The other one I've got cut up. I'm gonna patch it together. It comes down at like a 45 and then kicks straight back and then into the center. So let's get that one tacked together. It wasn't too big of a hassle. We made some new downpipes, new seals, new exhaust manifold, 2 pipe seals, new downpipe. This is all mild stainless. And we went into the Jegs kit right here, which turned out working pretty good. And into the Jegs kit right here, with clearance there, with clearance there. Nice rigid mount. Clear everything pretty nice. We're tied into the factory mount point there and the factory mount point there. Got a good gap there. Not going to hit anything. And our tailpipes dump out behind the rear wheels. Pretty happy with the kit. It fits pretty well. And I guess now I need to put fluid in my rear differential because my gasket sealant is all dried up now. And we put coolant in it, and then I get to go for a test drive, which is the best part of my day. I did decide to go ahead and cut the drums. You can hear that thing making a bit of a racket over here. Sounds like I might have to do a second cut. Let's take a look. I just missed right at the edge. That'll probably clean up with the that'll probably clean up on the final cut. It's probably just a thou. My final cut's usually 3 thou, so we're gonna finish cutting this drum and we'll get the other one cut, adjust his rear brakes, and put it back together.